I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Claire?
Here. Cindy? Here. Jane? Here. Phyllis? Here. All right, I have two people that have signed in. Does anybody else want to sign in to speak tonight? Okay, so, Mr. Walters, John Walters. Just
Members of the board, my fellow citizens and taxpayers. Do you remember when your mother used to tell you, and if all your friends jumped off the bridge, would you too? Well, that's what the library board's statement of we are still only 1.8% of your tax bill is. All the property tax levying bodies are jumping off the property tax rate bridge. And everyone is jumping off at X percent, and so did the library. And of course, the library share stays at 1.8%. This metric is intellectually dishonest, and it's a lie of omission. So let's talk dollars. According to the records at the Will County Clerk's Office and the FOIA request I made to the library dated 2/8/23, a request I had to make because it wasn't deemed important enough for the approved tax levy amount to be included in the library board minutes. So this is what I can tell you, that the library's tax levy in 2012 was $1,985,259. In 2022, it was $574,630. And this year in 2023, it's $2,992,000. That's only $8,000 under $3 million. To me, that's a 50.7% tax increase in 11 years. And that's $417,370 more this year alone. A tax levy increase of 16.2% more this year alone. The Homer Township Library District has raised the tax levy 50.7% in 11 years and 16.2% this year alone. Let that sink in. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know anyone who received a 50% raise in their pay over the past decade. I respectfully submit this full written text of my public comments and request that it be included in the minutes of this public meeting. Thank you.
thank you for your comment. Brianna?
Good evening, board and Homer residents. I would like to start congratulating the 4 re-elected trustees for the Homer Township Library Board. I truly wish the best to each of you in your upcoming term serving for our community. February 27th was the last Homer board meeting. When I attended this meeting, it was the first official time I heard about the 2023 Library Trustee Candidate Meet and Greet. During this meeting, Sherry Laha spoke about how this will be a great opportunity for the community to learn about the candidates in a relaxing environment with some refreshments. To me, this sounded like a great and very welcoming event for our community to enjoy. Sherry never stated at the meeting that there would be any type of question and answer session at all. The board passed this motion to approve the event. Unfortunately, there was not a recording of this last library meeting, but now there will be one moving forward. March 13th, the Meet the Candidate special meeting. This is the first opportunity to speak in front of the community as a candidate. I was extremely excited to share how much I love this library and my future plans as a trustee. However, Sherry ruined that vision. There was poor communication from this Sherry to all of the library candidates. Our email directly states there is no formal Q&A by a moderator. This is presented as an opportunity to meet the candidates in a relaxed atmosphere. Most importantly, to reiterate, the Q&A session was not on the agenda. I was appalled to experience the Meet the Candidate session, especially when Sherry continued to hold the Q&A session after she was reminded that it was not on the March 13th agenda, and while John E. Walters publicly had to explain Robert's Rule of Order. Today, April 24th, Sherry, I request that you give our community a public apology for March 13th. The Meet the Candidates special meeting. Homer Glen deserves better. I respectfully request my written remarks to be included in full in the minutes of this meeting. God bless and thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Okay. Dan, would you like to give your report?
Sure. So I'm here and I've distributed my typical library board reports relative to the renovation project. First item on the status report is the schedule, and the schedule remains unchanged from our last month. Phase 1 to be completed by July 31st, Phase 2 by October 23rd, and final completion December 6th. I am hopeful that we can maybe even beat those a little bit, but as you guys know, I'm usually the voice of doom, and this is the official schedule from the contractor, so I hope we can improve on that, but these are the dates currently. No issues relative to regulatory inspections. The building department inspections are happening and going off without a hitch. The issues log is attached. This month I sorted them, so only the open ones are at the end, so you can ignore the first few pages. But I continue to track a number of issues, and they are included for your review. We've closed out a significant number of them, but there's a few. A project this size, it's not unusual at all. So I'll continue to update that, and if anybody has any questions on specific ones, I'm happy to answer them. I'll go ahead, and if any come up, you can just yell them out. Contingency summary is there. You'll note that the contingency allowance is got a balance of I want to say it's a very small balance of $800, I think. $817 in it. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the permit. $584 in the contingency allowance. I would expect that'll be exhausted by the end of the project. Our other contingency, or the owner-controlled contingency, still has a balance, a more substantial balance, and that will continue to be used to deal with unexpected or changes to the project. Contract log is there as well, indicating the change orders that have been issued to Romas Construction. His contract value at this point is $2.8 million, a little over that. And if you notice on the payment progress or payment review section of the status report, there's a payment due to the contractor this month of $97,889.62. And with that payment, the contractor will be paid about 73% of his total contract, which is in line with the amount of work that's been completed. The architect has reviewed and certified that pay request. Okay, then the kind of the fun stuff. What's been happening? Here on the, well, we'll start outside. You'll notice that the new monument sign is in. All the lettering is on it. The electric is not yet finalized, but that'll be finalized in the next few days. And you'll notice if you walk around outside that the landscaper has begun finishing the site. That was, as you recall, they can't start before April 15th, so they've been waiting for that April 15th planting season to open. But now that it has, they've started that work. In the the North Addition, a lot of trim out, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, toilets are going in, light fixtures are going in, millwork is going in, those kind of things. Ultimately working towards the flooring, which will kind of be the last thing in that phase. But things are moving along. We're still seeing some delivery delays on some items. Millwork is one that is affecting some of the pace at which things can get done. It's coming in, unfortunately, it's just kind of coming in dribs and drabs as opposed to one big order. The west addition, if you'll notice, our last window that was fabricated incorrectly has been delivered and replaced and installed. And so all the windows are in, and the envelope or the perimeter of the building is now solid or finished. And then they're doing the fire sprinklers and some drywall work in the west addition. North addition is probably 2 or 3 weeks ahead of the west addition as far as progress, but the contractor has indicated that it's his belief that they will both finish about the same time. And that's based on that July 31st date. In addition, they have worked on and completed the modifications to the existing study room. So it is had its window installed and is back to patrons can use it. There's a couple little trim things that have to be done. And then the new study room over there should be ready probably in about the next 3 weeks, I would say. That's one of the millwork items that's holding back on that. Other than that, we're projecting that the beginning of the carpet replacement that runs into the youth area will start probably late in May and progress for about a month. So during that month, there'll be an ever-changing department over there. We're moving book stacks around to get the carpet in, so that'll go on, and that'll take a little bit of time in order to allow the contractor to complete his work and not minimize the disruption. Can't say it won't be any disruption, but it will minimize the disruption to the department.
Are they doing all the moving?
Pallet moving the library mover. They're coming in, and they won't have to remove the books. They pick up the book stacks with the books on them and with hydraulic equipment and roll it around so that it eliminates that step of having staff or somebody empty off all the bookshelves. So it's a efficient way to do it. That's really all I have. If anybody has questions.
Anybody else have questions? I was
Oh,
wondering
I'm
about the monument.
Yeah, the fountain.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I skipped that one. It's here, as everyone I think is aware. The plumbing portion of the fountain is being installed currently. That's part of the plumber's work. So he's installing the mechanical equipment that will ultimately feed the water to that and make it function. I believe that the expectation is that that will be completed in the next 2 weeks. I don't know if it will be open, so to speak, because the area, the gazebo, the landscaping in that area won't be completed or will be in the process. And we can't really open that up to the public if the areas around it are not complete. So when it will actually open, still yet to be determined, but it should be physically in place with all the mechanical devices that make it spin in place here in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
So yeah, that's moving along well. Sorry, I forgot to mention
I've
that.
just been worried about it because it was like in transit for so long.
Yeah, no, it is here and heavy, very heavy.
Good.
So there's a specialist coming to install it.
All right, perfect. Anybody else have questions for Dan? Thank you.
Over here. Thank you very much.
I'm so glad to hear that things are moving along so well. Correspondence, Sherry?
Just two things. Thanks, it was so nice to the staff at the Homer Glen Library. Big thank you for all the years you have come to Marion Village and bringing the bookmobile to our residents. It is truly appreciated. And this is from the assisted living residents of Marion Village. And then Tom and I received a letter from Sherry today letting us know which book was chosen with our donation in memory of Judy Tyler. We both thought it was so nice to receive that acknowledgement. Please tell Sherry thank you from us if you get an opportunity. And that was one of the bookmobile clients provided that. Those are the only two things I have.
Okay, we have some minutes to approve. And regular. Let's do the regular meeting first. And then do the special.
I will move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting on February 27th, 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, so motion was made and seconded. And I have, okay, all who are in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. And we have special meeting minutes for March 13th as well.
I move to accept the minutes from the special meeting on March 13th.
I'll second it. Okay, it's been made. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Special meeting of March 18th. Okay, financial. Treasury.
The BMO Harris checking account has $208,823.72. BMO Harris FSA, $25,534.68, and this is as of March 31st. The general funds at Oak Point Trail is $3,931,356.87. Insurance, $45,391.18. Special Social Security is $70,080.44. Special Reserve is $298,007.45. IMRF is $90,899.18. Audit is $35,328.15, and petty cash is $453.03 for a total of $4,780,205.75.
Thank you, Carol. We have 2 months of bills and petty cash to approve. Too many notices. Okay. But we need to approve the bills from meeting bills for the March bills.
First, she's trying something. First one's first.
Yes.
March.
March 1st.
Sherry, I don't know if this would be a question for Dan. Is this True Tech Systems under building expansion costs? Is that like the phone system or?
No, that's our IT.
Okay.
So
Like for the additional space?
Well, so they're putting in some of the cameras that are going to go into the new space, and they take care of our day 24 public computers, any of the staff computers that can't take that number.
So we're approving the bills from March 1st to March 27th. Correct. Yes.
Okay, I move to accept the bills and petty cash from March 1st to the 27th.
A second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, Patty.
Claire,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Phyllis.
Yes.
The motion passes. Okay, and we need to approve the, is there petty cash from that time? Let's see. Yeah, there's petty cash. Oh, yeah, there is one entry there. So. All right, so then we need to approve the bills for this one, whichever. Yeah, it's right out, that was February, yeah. February 28th and March 22nd.
Okay. There's no petty cash for the second day, right?
No, there isn't. It's March 22nd, there, one for March 28th to April 24th. And this Tuesday and Sun landscaping, that's not for the new construction, or is that who's doing it?
Tansy and Sons Landscaping. There are regular,
Okay,
there are regular landscapes that, landscaping.
No, when they landscaping paid through Romas.
Okay, for the,
Yeah.
okay, so this is
Yeah.
for existing.
And then that they coming in for the other stuff, yeah.
Okay. Do we need a motion to approve the bills from March 28th to April 24th?
I make a motion to approve the bills from March 21st to April 24th, 2023.
Thank you, Amy. A second?
Second it.
Okay, roll call, Patty.
Claire,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Phyllis.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, and we have to make a motion for two transfers of funds, right? And they're separate motions. So we'll do that. So motion number one, we need someone to make that motion.
I make a motion to approve the transfer of $301,000 that paid March bills and April payroll, IMRF, and withholding taxes, as well as utility bills and other time-sensitive bills to prevent late fees.
Thank you. Second,
I'll second.
roll call, Patty.
Claire,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Phyllis.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. We need a motion for the second approval of transfer of funds.
Make a motion to approve the transfer of $270,000 to pay April bills and May payroll, IMRF, and withholding taxes, as well as utility bills and other time-sensitive bills to prevent late fees.
Second,
I'll second.
okay. Roll call.
Claire,
Yes.
Eileen,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Phyllis.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next on the agenda.
It's me. It's National Library Week this week. Tuesday is Library Workers' Day in recognition of the staff that do services of the library. Wednesday is Outreach and Bookmobile Day. Thursday is Advocacy Day. And so we have something going every day this week, as well as something for the patrons. tomorrow and Wednesday, we have a senior safe driver class, which is sold out Tuesday and Wednesday. It's AARP, so they get a certificate if they undertake the 2 days. It's being sponsored by the Gleaner Oak Arbor. They're bringing in breakfast and lunch for both days for the class and subsidizing part of the payment that the people make for the class. So they do that every year, and we're really appreciative of it. We're financially conservative. We're at 65% of the budget for 8 months, the past 8 months. The stats are increasing. We have a 22% increase in library material checkouts, 28% increase in visitor traffic over the past month. There was a program from the state library. It was called Letters About Literature, and Heather Colby, our adult services manager, was tagged to be one of the judges for it. There were 3,000 entries in the state library contest, of which they narrowed it down to 90 finalists. And so they had to read the 90 letters that they submitted, and then they winnowed it down to 3 winners. And so that was a nice recognition for the manager to be invited to attend and do that. Wednesday is Administrative Professionals Day, and I'd like to laud Patty Kudis for her support and work for our administration and our managers and many of the programs that we run. We appreciate Patty's input and direction, and she's just wonderfully supportive, and we thank her and appreciate that. The non-resident card and fee, we follow the Illinois Local Library Act, and those administrative rules govern the non-resident cards that we do. So annually, the board has to decide whether to issue non-resident library cards for individuals residing whose residence is not within the public library service area. So our current family non-resident card costs $170. We have a limited number that are active, so we've gone anywhere from 8 to 16 cards. It's a very small amount, but they subsist outside of our proper service area, so they have to purchase a card. So that's on the agenda for board approval to continue it and remain at the amount or have it be increased. And International Children's Book Day is April 30th, and that's a celebration of children, families, and reading. They founded the book day in Children's Book Day in 1967, and it celebrates books and reading to children, and it's a reminder of all the treasured books that we had when we were growing up. We promote the library at many levels. We do it through a weekly email blast, our print newsletter, Facebook, Twitter, TV media, flyers, and emails. We're going to be supplying the community with a mailed print newsletter this spring and summer. And Money Smart Week is at our library right now. That's a national initiative which is in its 12th year. And so this year's Money Smart programs include family budgeting, financial institutions, debt relief, and employer retirement plans. It began in 2002, and we have sponsorship from 2 banks, BMO and Oak Plank, who support the program and help us fund some of those programs. The per capita grant has come in, and we were fully funded based on our population. So that's it. If you have any questions?
Any questions? No, Sherry? Thank you, Sherry. A lot always going on. The micro pantry, how are you doing with supplying?
So we've been running a food drive to do that last month, and we usually have all these cabinets stocked with everything, and so that's an initiative that we're going to be asking people that are coming to programs if they would donate an item. But we have enough food items we actually undertake 2 food banks, the one outside the library here and the other one that we place next to our little free library at Hadley School. So, and they maintain some of that, they're stewards for that one as well as us. So, but staff review it every day, take a check on there and see it's used heavily on the weekends. So a lot of people take from it, but people bring in too and supply to it. So we have a little bin right outside that gets a lot of play.
Do you ever notice that there's a certain type of item that really is needed, or
Do you think there's a certain type? I mean,
Like
the
cereal
soups and
themselves.
canned items go really well, and we try to put in sort of around the season what's available. And obviously for certain months, we try to do other things like Thanksgiving, we try to add more to it, but it's really active. Really active.
great, good to know.
Alex, you're up.
So the catalog, we are getting an OPAC. It is actually installed already, but they're going to come back and put Vega on there, and it's going to be close to circulation.net so that when people have questions, patrons are going to be able to help. We're going to find out a little bit more about the timeline on Wednesday at the Prairie Cat meeting. I know that the payment aspect is not live yet, so that's one of the reasons why we hesitate to put it on our website, because we don't want people to get confused. So the Prairie Cat that we're using right now is still up and running and functional. Summer reading programming is already being planned. It's called Can You Dig It? And it's focusing on dinosaurs this year. It's going to be June 10th through July 22nd. Sponsors have been contacted. We already have quite a few sponsors coming through. We're putting the prizes together. And we will be using paper in-house with our volunteers coming back. And they will be working, I think, from 9 to 5 most days. So that's a great opportunity for our local high schoolers to get their hours in for graduation. Tax forms, we had a ton of tax forms here again. A lot of them did not get used. We will recycle them. We fill out a form every year telling them how many we have left. This year we didn't get to decide how many we wanted. They just base it off of what we tell them, but they still have to send a full box each time. We have a patron survey that we did, and that was from February 23rd to March 31st. Sherry, do you mind if I grab your patron survey, please? You should all have one.
Yeah, it's in the front of yours.
So overall, the responses were great. We asked how often do you visit the library. We asked why they use the library, what they're using it for. How often do you use the library website? So that library website was just updated this December. Can you always find what you're looking for? Overall, the responses are pretty great. And then how satisfied are you with the hours at the library? How do you rate the overall level of service provided at the library? And then we asked about the atmosphere. So we're talking about putting another survey out again this year with some different questions. And then we did have the blood drive on Monday, March 6th. We collected 18 units of blood, including 1 double. So that impacts 56 lives. So in November, we had only collected 17, so we did a little bit better. Chicks were here, they hatched around March 25th, and we had about 10 chicks this year. Not about, we did have fun. And that's all I have for right now.
Give her a thank you. And are the chicks gone now?
They are gone, yeah.
Thank you, Alex. Any questions for Alex? Carol, do you have anything to like? Thank you.
All right, I want to come check out Vega.
Yes. I'm hoping it would be on soon, but.
And there's an additional statistics report that I included in the department reports, and it gives youth service March statistics and the adult service March statistics, so you can see that we gave away 480 crafts and all kinds of head scavenger hunts and brain builders for the adults and seniors and the ones for memory loss. We had 37 teams who did 85 hours of community service, and 18 teams did 36 hours of community service. So our community service participants are up and actively helping us at the library to do things for the community.
I imagine this time of year, the students that don't have their service learning hours are scrambling. Okay. Thank you. Do we have any unfinished business? New business? Any committees have reports to make? And Dan has already addressed us with his great report. We need to decide on the non-resident card, which in the report, it's $170 for a
Right,
family.
so that was based on figuring out what the lowest person would pay, homeowner would pay for their taxes. So that was about the average low cost, so we would like to, I would love that you would keep that cost because it serves families get a card and every member of the family can use the card. And so, but we have to, administrative rules govern that, we have to make a decision and review the cost and decide if we want to continue it.
It's the same cost as the years past.
Yes. Unless you want to increase it.
Anybody have any opinions about it?
I don't see any reason to change it. I would just keep it the same.
It's kind of nice, it's a family card and
Yes.
Yeah.
It sure is. So do we need to make a motion to?
Yes.
So someone would make a motion to continue it at the $170 family.
I move to keep the non-resident, what is it called? Non-resident card program as it has been at $170 a year for a family card.
I'll second it. Okay, it's been motioned and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. It stays at $170. Okay. And we have an approval of meeting date ordinance for 22-23-4.
Right.
Is it printed in your, or is it just on?
It's for the new fiscal year.
Yeah, I mean, I know I saw it on the email, but is it?
Are the dates in here? Oh,
It's in the very back.
Yeah, the last chapter.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and it reflects the March, that's good.
So we have to make a motion for this and.
Right.
Someone would.
Claire had made a suggestion that since school break is already been defined for that last week in March, that we shift that meeting so that those of you that go on vacation are otherwise occupied, that we would have to meet on time so that we could make sure that we had a quorum. So I did include that in there, but it's also up for your discussion.
That was wise.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Claire. And do you know when yours is next spring?
Doesn't really make a difference to me. As of July 1st.
Oh, you're
Jen, will be tight.
Oh, congratulations.
So spring break will be every week for the rest of my life.
Wow, that's a good feeling.
So do we have to pass this ordinance?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Does anyone have a, does that sound good, the
Yeah,
March
sounds
change?
great.
Sounds great, all right.
That was the trouble we ran in this year.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2022/23-4, public meetings ordinance of the Homer Township Public Library District, Will County, Illinois, for the fiscal year July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. Whereas pursuant to Section 30-50 of the Illinois Public Library District Act, the Board of Library Trustees of the Homer Township Public Library District is required to specify by ordinance the time, date, and place of no less than 5 regular meetings of the board each fiscal year. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Library Trustees of the Homer Township Public Library District, Will County, Illinois. Section 1, that the regular meetings of the board shall be held at 14320 West 151st Street, Homer Glen, Will County, Illinois, at 7 p.m. Section 2, that the regular meetings of the board shall be held on the following dates: July 24th, 2023, August 28th, 2023, September 25th, 2023, October 23rd, 2023, November 27th, 2023, January 22nd, 2024, February 26th, 2024, March 18th, 2024, April 22nd, 2024, May 20th, 2024, and June 24th, 2024.
A second?
Just you have to keep going with that.
Oh, that's, sorry.
Passed by the Board of Library Trustees of the Homer Township Public Library District, Will County, Illinois, this 24th day of April, 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. After all the dates are mentioned, that was it. So we have to do something with this certification.
No, that just gets signed.
Okay, all right. The next thing we need to discuss is the June 22nd Community Fest event for the 5 p.m. closing.
Yes. So every year we've cooperated with the Village of Homer Glen, and that's the fireworks night, and they start their carnival hours at 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock that night, and then they have the fireworks. And we realized that we were having a safety issue with so many of the residents using the library parking lot. So we asked the board to consider closing early so that our staff wasn't in the middle of traffic and fireworks when they depart at 9 o'clock. And so actually, I have it on the agenda as 5 p.m., but we had made a decision previously to do it at 4 p.m. so we didn't pull in the nighttime crew and start a new shift and have people coming in at 4 o'clock and then leaving at 5 o'clock for an hour. So we'd like to continue that type of cooperation. They are aware that I'll let them know every year that we're willing to do this so that they use our parking lot for whatever they needed. One year they used it for safety vehicles, like ambulances and stuff. So another year it became residents coming in and using the lot for the carnival parking. So, you know, I think that it's a great cooperation with the village, and it's a benefit, and it's a safety. It addresses a safety concern that we have for the staff. So if you would consider continuing that at the 4 p.m. closing.
I think 4 o'clock is fine. Yeah, the shift change, that's a good idea.
And it continues with what we've done in the past.
Right.
Okay. We need to make a motion for that as well, so if someone would make a motion.
I will make a motion to close early on June 22nd at 4 p.m.
Second?
I second.
Who seconded? Eileen? So it's been motioned and seconded that we close at 4 p.m. on June 22nd. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Do we have anything else to discuss?
Executive session.
No, we don't have an executive session. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
I second that motion.
Second that motion. Congratulations, Eileen, that's such exciting news. So the meeting is adjourned.
Have they started
Interview with this patron survey.
Are you, people that have negative things,